What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from our big NCAA football bowl extravaganza. Thank you guys so much for your support and for watching. Let's keep cashing. It's been a glorious month. Let's get that paper. All right, we move on to 8 p.m., the Cotton Bowl. Man, I think this is just such a fascinating game to cap, and I'm so excited about capping it with you guys. Here we go. Number 7 ranked Florida Gators versus number 6 Oklahoma Sooners. AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. I've already bet the Oklahoma Sooners. I was too late. We got the shocking news today about all the top 4 receivers for Florida not playing in this game due to opt-outs and more, and we'll get into it. And I pulled the trigger on first half full game, and I plan to do that on this show as well. We have a threes across the board right now, and the total at 70 or 70.5. We're back up to the top to John Ryan to open this up. Let's just talk quickly about this game here. AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas, to set it up. After a shocking 37-34 loss at home to LSU as 23.5-point favorites, one that our John Ryan very shrewdly took the money line on LSU a plus 900 on. We have these Florida Gators were knocked out of the college football playoffs. They bounced back with a very impressive 52-46 loss at home to number 1 Alabama. Heisman Trophy candidate Kyle Trask completed 69.7% of his passes, 4,125 yards, 43 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. His offense that gained an average of 508.8 yards, scored 41.6 points per game, is losing very dangerous weapons. Let's start with the most dangerous, 6'6" tight end Kyle Pitts. Caught 43 passes for 770 yards, 12 touchdowns. He's opted out to prepare for the draft. So is wide receiver Trevon Grimes. He caught 43 passes, 589 yards, 9 touchdowns. When I was capping this game initially, I expected their senior wide receiver, Kadarius Toney, to play in this game. He's not going to play in this game. He's opted out as well. He caught 2 touchdown passes his first 3 seasons. He caught 10 touchdown passes this year, 984 yards. Marco Wilson has not made the announcement official. Everyone's waiting for the announcement. Their cornerback is also going to they expect him to opt out for the bowl game. Then we have defensive back Sean Davis, 45 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 interception, out with a knee injury. That's a lot of losses. Now we get to Oklahoma. Finished the season in very impressive fashion. 1-7 straight, culminating in winning the Big 12 championship. Outscored their opponents by an average of 19.9 points per game. Their defense grew stronger and stronger as the season went on. They allowed 333.6 yards and just 21.9 points per game. Freshman quarterback Spencer Rattler looked better and better as the season went on. He completed 68% of his passes for 2,784 yards, 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Running back TJ Pledger left the team and has entered the transfer portal. He entered the 2020 season as the week 1 starter because Kennedy Brooks opted out and Ramondre Stevenson was suspended. Pledger rushed for 451 yards, 5 touchdowns on 95 carries, but he was immediately supplanted by Stevenson upon his return. Pledger has not logged double-digit carries in the game since October 24th. He's angry. He's in the transfer portal. Stevenson ran for 479 yards, 6 touchdowns in 5 games. Marvin Mims caught 30 passes, 583 yards, 8 touchdowns. And sadly, extremely dangerous 6'6" sophomore tight end Austin Stogner remains out indefinitely with a leg injury. For me, this is all Oklahoma all the time. What I'm very interested in is maybe making a move on the total, going under the number, or maybe making a move on the Florida team total under. That's what I want to wait to hear your breakdowns. John Ryan, take it away, Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, this is a great game, and I wish there weren't so many opt-outs because it would be an even more fun game to cap with all of you guys. I was on Florida against Alabama. I went against them with LSU. I feel like I have a pretty good feel on the pulse of that team until all this news. But even with that said, I trust that the Florida team is deeper with those 3 and 4 star recruits that are redshirt freshmen that'll get a chance to play since they're missing their 4 wide receivers. And think about it. Oklahoma is favored by how many?
They're favored by 3.
Right. And that's with – imagine in the NFL if an NFL team – well, it actually happened. The Eagles didn't have any wide receivers. But, you understand my point. You're losing 4 skill players that are elite athletes, and the line's only that much. The public is all over Oklahoma. And, the one thing I wanted to mention tonight, too, is I'm beginning to think that it's run its course in terms of the pros and the Joes. that the smart money is on, this game. And I think it's more important now. Like if you take Wall Street sentiment, there is no Joe and Pro. It's just sentiment. It's public sentiment. It's the professional trader sentiment. It's all wrapped into one. So what I've been doing with some back testing with my Python stuff is finding out if that actually works, and I'm getting some positive results from that. If the percentages are insane and the public is acting in irrational exuberance betting a certain team, then you ought to consider being on the other side. And I'm not suggesting that this is out of hand on Oklahoma because it's not. But my bet's going to be on Florida, and I just think there's going to be guys stepping up that are going to be hungry to play, and they're going to get the job done.
Do you want the 3 points, or do you want the money line?
I'm going to take the money line, Jimmy, on this one. I mean, it's not a big money line, but
very, very exciting.
Taking the reason I would take the money line, just to explain my reasoning behind that, is that I think it's going to be a very high scoring game. So I would lead towards the over 70 or 71, whatever it is, as well. But that's not going to be my bet. I'll just stick with Florida and the money line.
Very, very interesting. And you get a nice one at FanDuel, plus 132.
That is a good number.
Very, very, very interesting. Let's move on to the big Ragu. What an interesting take from John Ryan. It makes me feel like a Joe Schmo jumping all over Oklahoma when I had the chance to.
Didn't mean that at all, Jimmy.
Oh, no, I know. No, don't worry. This is extremely enjoyable, and I love your take. I just find it very I find it riveting. And now it could
be 42-17 Oklahoma, and but that's how I feel about the game now.
Yeah, that's all right.
Let's take it away, Ragu.
That's what makes the world go around, man. Having fun and talking about these games and hammering out. If you look at my notes, here's my note. Okay, check this out right here. It says I'm looking for Kadarius Toney to be all over the field to put things together for U.S. Also, Trevor Grimes to fill in. We'll draw a line through that, but that didn't say that I had Florida to start out with. That was just some of my notes, but that kind of gives me more, not pause, but more reason to be on Oklahoma because, like you were saying, I know there's a next up. I know Florida recruits lights out. They always have a solid recruiting class, especially in those skill positions because there's a lot of talent in Florida, and the next up is trying to get in. But I want to see them on the field before I kind of make my decision to kind of put my stock into that, especially against a team like Oklahoma that's kind of getting right on defense. They kind of quietly, went on that 6-game winning streak and took a pretty damn good Iowa State team out in the conference championship. And Spencer Rattler's had his moments, just up and down type of season. But I think, Mims is doing a nice job picking up some pieces, for yardage down the field. And we know Trask's story. He's 43 touchdowns, 4,000 yards. But he's going to be definitely light, on who to throw the ball to. And Florida's defense, they can get gashed up pretty good. So I think you got two teams going in different directions. Even though that when Pitts came back for the championship game, now he opted out, obviously. So I think there's just too much of a roller coaster ride for Florida towards the end of the season to kind of be really motivation. I think the motivation factor is going to be highly on the Oklahoma Sooner sidelines. We don't have that dual threat quarterback like we've had years gone by with Murray and Hurts and those type of quarterbacks. So Spencer, I'm not going to call him a game manager, but I'm just going to kind of call him a more rounded quarterback as far as distribution goes. You're not going to put the game on his shoulders. You're going to put it in Stevenson's hand. He's going to make plays when he has to, and the Oklahoma defense is going to step up and slow the Gators down. I would be interested in the team total looking at the Gators, but I've already got a bet on Oklahoma at plus 125 because I was already leaning towards Oklahoma anyway. So now I feel a little more comfortable with that play, and I've already got a play at Oklahoma -3. So, and on the contest, I'm going to take Oklahoma first half and full game.
And I will as well. I can get you -2.5 and -110 at BetMGM, so they're still hanging at 2.5. FanDuel's moved to 3.5. Makes a ton of sense. Let's let our DJ Big Boss put a bow on this while I line shop for you on the first half. Take it away, boss.
This battle right here with Trash and Rattler, I like this battle right here. I kind of like Rattler way much. I'm leaning big time Oklahoma, but I'm scared to jump on the side. I totally agree with John Ryan saying, and I've said it before on the show that when these players go out, it's no reason to jump up out of your seat. But I really like the over in this one, but. I'm waiting for the line to come down. If all these players are out and all this stuff, and we was at 71, we should be at 68 at least by now. Did the line drop? I don't see that it moved.
No, you're right. If it's done anything, it's gone up.
And if you missing some wide receiver, that's not a big deal. And I'm not gonna discredit the wide receivers, but they breed those guys a dime a dozen. There's a guy waiting to catch the ball. The key factor will be if the quarterback was gone. But with the quarterback matching is solid right here. It's gonna be and these are two young coaches right here. You got Lincoln Riley in his 4th year and Dan Mullen in his 3rd year. I'm big time 3rd and 4th year coaches, and we seen with Coastal Carolina and quite a few other ones that they compete well, especially in these big games. So I'm expecting the party to keep going all night. I don't know who's going to press stop on or if the needle ever going to jump off the record, but I like the over in this one a lot. I would love to get more value on it today before I make it. I'll take it in the contest, no doubt, but before I make it to the window with a nice little lump sum of somebody's money, then I want that number to come down a little bit.
Wow. Very, very interesting takes from you guys. Over 69.5, still hanging at BetMGM, which is the best line. Over 69.5 at minus 115. Very, very interesting. BetMGM. Over 69.5. Wow. Very interesting. So I'm going to stay with my plan. I'm not going to add to it. I'm going to make the same move that Ragu made. First half on Oklahoma minus 1.5 at minus 115. And full game minus 2.5. And that's at points bet. Full game minus 2.5, minus 110 at BetMGM. And I look forward to watching this game. We've seen what Kyle Trask can do with extremely dangerous weapons, and let's see what he can do with just younger ones. Maybe he's still dangerous, but he lost a few major ones. Okay, there we have it. So in review, John Ryan on Florida, money line plus 132. Ragu and I on first half minus 1.5, full game minus 2.5 on Oklahoma, and Big Boss on the over 69.5 minus 115 at BetMGM. He's waiting for the news to hit the public and the under and the total to come down. And we will see if it does.